His Highness the Emir Sheikh Sabah Al Ahmed Al Jaber Al Sabah received congratulatory cables on Kuwait's 54th National Day and the 24th Liberation Day and the 9th anniversary of His Highness the Emir's assumption of power. His Highness the Emir received the cables from His Highness the Crown Prince Sheikh Nawaf Al Ahmed Al Jaber Al Sabah, the National Assembly Speaker Marzouk Ali Al Ghanim, His Highness the Chief of the National Guard Sheikh Salim Al Ali Al Sabah, the Deputy Chief of the National Guard Sheikh Mish'al Al Ahmed Al Jaber Al Sabah, His Highness Sheikh Nasir Al Muhammad Al Ahmed Al Sabah, and His Highness Sheikh Jaber Al Mbarak Al Hamad Al Sabah, the Prime Minister. In their cables, they expressed loyalty to Kuwait and prayed to Almighty Allah to perpetuate lasting health and wellness on His Highness the Emir in continuing his peaceful march and attain further development, prosperity and progress in the country. His Highness the Emir sent them reply cables congratulating them and all Kuwaiti people on the national celebrations and expressing appreciation over their honest sentiments and generous prayers. His Highness the Emir also received cables of congratulations on the same occasions from the leaders of Arab and foreign countries. In response, His Highness the Emir sent them reply cables in which he voiced gratitude and appreciation on their noble sentiments, wishing them lasting health and wellness, as well as further development and progress to the relations between their countries and Kuwait. His Highness the Crown Prince Sheikh Nawaf Al Ahmed Al Jaber Al Sabah sent two cables of congratulations to His Highness the Chief of the National Guard Sheikh Salim Al Ali Al Sabah and Sheikh Mbarak Al Abdullah Al Ahmed Al Sabah on the occasion of the 54th National Day anniversary and the 24th Liberation anniversary. His Highness the Crown Prince received reply cables from both figures, congratulating His Highness on the same occasions and praying to Almighty Allah to bless Kuwait with further peace and security. His Highness the Crown Prince Sheikh Nawaf Al Ahmed Al Jaber Al Sabah received congratulatory cables on the occasion of the 54th National Day anniversary and the 24th Liberation anniversary. His Highness the Crown Prince received the cables from the National Assembly Speaker Marzouk Ali Al Ghanim, Sheikhs, the Deputy Chief of the National Guard Sheikh Mish'al Al Ahmed Al Jaber Al Sabah, His Highness Sheikh Nasir Al Muhammad Al Ahmed Al Sabah, His Highness Sheikh Jaber Al Mbarak Al Hamad Al Sabah, the Prime Minister, and the First Lady Premier and Foreign Minister Sheikh Sabah Al Khalid Al Hamad Al Sabah. Moreover, His Highness the Crown Prince received congratulatory cables on the same occasions from sheikhs, ministers, governors, senior state officials, MPs, members of the diplomatic corps and a large number of citizens and expatriates. His Highness the Crown Prince sent them reply cables congratulating them and all Kuwaiti people on the national celebrations and expressing appreciation over their honest sentiments. His Highness the Crown Prince also wished Kuwait further advancement and growth under the wise leadership of His Highness the Emir Sheikh Sabah Al Ahmed Al Jaber Al Sabah. The State of Kuwait marks the 54th National Day anniversary that coincides with the 24th Liberation anniversary and the 9th anniversary of His Highness the Emir Sheikh Sabah Al Ahmed Al Jaber Al Sabah's assumption of power. The Ministry of Information seizes this opportunity to extend congratulations to His Highness the Emir, His Highness the Crown Prince Sheikh Nawaf Al Ahmed Al Jaber Al Sabah and His Highness Sheikh Jaber Al Mbarak Al Hamad Al Sabah, the Prime Minister, as well as the Kuwaiti people and government on these joyful occasions, praying to Almighty Allah to bless Kuwait with more prosperity and progress.
We are celebrating our National Day and the Celebration Day. I hope with the outstanding efforts of the governors around Kuwait, we are witnessing a special moment of celebration and happiness. I do ask Allah Almighty to keep His Highness the Emir and His Highness the Crown Prince and His Highness the Prime Minister and all the people of Kuwait with happy and prosperity.
Under the patronage of the Palestinian President, the Palestinian Kuwaiti Friendship Association will celebrate in Ramallah the 54th National Day of Kuwait amid deepening ties of brotherhood and friendship between the two countries. More in this report by Fatma Abdul Karim from Ramallah.
Kuwaiti Friendship Association celebrated in Ramallah today the 54th National Day of the State of Kuwait in an atmosphere of patriotism and loyalty to the joint relations and brotherly ties of the two nations. In Ramallah, the Palestinians expressed their appreciation of the wise leadership of Kuwait, its strong bond and unity with its government and the people of Kuwait.
العلاقة تاريخية بين الشعب الفلسطيني والشعب الكويتي.
This is a historic relationship which has sprung from a very long time with the continued support of Kuwait for our Palestinian people and its hosting of our national symbols.
With hearts full of joy, the marking of the independence of Kuwait is seen by Palestinians as a ray of hope towards their independence.
We congratulate our brothers in Kuwait for their independence and the building of their national state, and we thank them for their hosting and caretaking of our people.
The newly established Friendship Association, which organized the celebration, sees the ties between the Palestinian and the Kuwaiti people as beyond brotherly.
This is the Brotherhood Association between the Kuwaiti and Palestinian peoples, to build bridges of communication between us and to embody Arab unity, and also to express loyalty to Kuwait.
Palestinians today are wishing Kuwait a happy and blessed National Day. Fatma Abdel Karim, State of Kuwait Television, Ramallah, Palestine.
A Palestinian mosque was set alight in the occupied West Bank today, and graffiti in Hebrew at the scene suggested the attack was carried out by an Israeli group. As the Israeli army was investigating the incident, officials said that no one was hurt in the overnight attack in the El Jabba village near Bethlehem. Israeli extremists have targeted mosques, churches, Palestinian vehicles, dovish Israeli groups and even Israeli military bases in so-called price tag attacks to protest against Israeli government actions against settler activity. In Yemen, armed men from the Houthi rebel group took over a special forces army base in the capital Sana'a earlier in the day. The clashes, which lasted around 6 hours, started overnight when the Houthis shelled the camp with heavy weapons, killing at least 10 people. Houthi militiamen seized Sana'a in September, eventually leading President Abdurrabbu Mansour Hadi to flee to Aden this week, where he seeks to set up a rival centre of power. The rebels said that Hadi had lost his legitimacy as head of state and was being sought as a fugitive from justice. Residents of Baghdad's southeastern district of Jisr Diyala held a funeral procession today for some of those killed in overnight twin blasts. The first blast and the deadliest of the day came shortly before sunset, and minutes later a car bomb went off near the site of the first blast as people started gathering to help the victims of the initial explosion. The casualty toll in Jisr Diyala rose throughout the evening, and within hours police and hospital officials said that at least 25 people had been killed and that 50 were wounded. No group immediately claimed responsibility for the bombings, but Iraq sees near daily attacks, mostly by insurgents targeting the country's civilians and security forces. Amnesty International claimed today that European countries are not doing enough to stem the refugee crisis that has erupted as a result of the fighting in Syria. At a news conference in Istanbul to launch its annual report, Amnesty representative Ruhat Aksener in Turkey said the group is urging Europe to open its borders to refugees who have fled the embattled nation. Aksener said Amnesty also believed the international community's response to global crisis was shameful, adding that the 415-page report included criticism of the UN. According to the United Nations, the 4-year-old Syrian conflict has killed 220,000 people and displaced 6.5 million inside the country and more than 3 million people to neighbouring countries, including Turkey. Iranian President Hassan Rouhani called on world powers to lift all the oppressive and illegal sanctions against his country in order to reach a nuclear deal with them. Addressing a crowd of people in the city of Qom, Rouhani reiterated that Iranian nuclear negotiators would not accept any imposition, humiliation or continuation of sanctions. The remarks came a day after Iranian Foreign Minister Mohammad Javad Zarif said that his country will continue to hold talks with the West on Tehran's disputed nuclear program. Following talks with major world powers on Iran's nuclear program, Zarif said that progress has been achieved in the recent nuclear negotiations. Russia's Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov has expressed concern about the level of monitoring of the Organization for Security and Cooperation in Europe regarding the withdrawal of heavy weapons in eastern Ukraine. During a meeting with French Senate President Gérard Larcher in Moscow, Lavrov said the OSCE monitors are required to carry out monitoring and verification of the withdrawal of weapons towards the lines which were agreed in Minsk. For his part, the French Senate President suggested to Lavrov that France could help with a political process of decentralization in Ukraine. Meanwhile, British Defence Secretary Michael Fallon said that the United Kingdom will provide additional non-lethal support to the Ukrainian government in light of continued Russian-backed aggression in Eastern Europe. Beijing today denied any involvement in the conflict which has seen Kokang ethnic rebels battling Myanmar's government forces in a region close to the Chinese border. China said it encouraged both sides to reach a peaceful solution to the infighting that began earlier this month and left more than 130 people killed. The government has imposed a state of emergency and military administration in the region, which gives the army executive and judicial authority there. China's Ministry of Foreign Affairs also refused to take sides over the arrest of Maldives' former president Mohammed Nasheed, saying that China always adheres to the principle not to interfere in the internal affairs of other countries. For a chance to see our reports again, please visit our YouTube channel at MOI Kuwait News. And to recap tonight's news, here are the headlines once again. His Highness the Emir exchanges cables of congratulations with local, Arab and world leaders on the occasion of the national celebrations. His Highness the Crown Prince exchanges cables of congratulations with senior local officials and nationals on the occasion of the national celebrations. Suspected Israeli extremists torch a Palestinian mosque in the West Bank and leave Hebrew graffiti at the site. And the Houthi rebels take over a Special Forces army camp in the capital Sana'a after overnight fighting. Thank you for joining us.